Hi, I'm Victoria Rojas.
And I'm Edwin Campos. Welcome to this edition of JVTV News. Wasn't Mr. Falcon fun this year?
Yeah, all the handsome guys, the talent, and especially the best pocket contest.
And it was all for a good cause. Natalie Rodriguez tells us more.
Mr. Falcon is a pageant for senior guys where they compete for the big crown. This event has been going on for 14 years and is a tradition for many students. The show consists of beachwear, talent competition, and formal wear.
We contributed to Mr. Falcon by donating all the tuxedos for their formal wear. So all the tuxedos they wore up there were total donations from my location at the Willowbrook Men's Warehouse.
Ladies also participate by being escorts to the contestants, who are sponsored by school clubs. All proceeds from Mr. Falcon go directly towards Project Prom. There are also contests where students can vote for the senior with the best smile, eyes, and pockets. The day of the show, the auditorium is quickly filled with excited audience members. The contestants showcase their talents and good looks while being critiqued by a panel of judges. They then announce the winner, who gets crowned.
I really just enjoyed hanging out with all my friends, and I just had so much of a great time. Everybody out there is a winner. They're so great and amazing, and everybody had such a wonderful talent and everything, and it was so awesome.
Mr. Falcon is a great experience for seniors to top their final year. Natalie Rodriguez, JVTV News.
Graduated from school only to come back and teach there. Edwin Campos finds out more about teachers who were former JVHS students.
Some of the teachers we learned from have also been in our place before. Let's find out about our teachers that also graduated from Jersey Village. JVHS alumni staff include Schneider, Wyatt, Kaufman, Woolery, Higgins, plus more.
It's great. I love that I'm able to come back because I feel like I have a bigger passion for teaching here as opposed to another school because I know what it's like. I've walked through these halls even though they look differently. I think it's just great to come back.
It's really cool. The place has changed a lot over the years, and it's nice to kind of be able to have that relationship with my kids so I can tell them about what I used to do here, and I have my letter jacket hanging on the back and homecoming moms hanging up, so they always are interested to see like what I've been into and stuff like that.
However, our school has not always been the same. Let's go in and view JV from their perspective by going back in time.
I was a goody two-shoes, sorry. That's why I became a teacher, I guess. But I was involved in choir and drill team, so I was a little Miss Sunshine, so yeah.
It's very different because when my senior year was the first time they started the construction, the first thing they did was the band hall. And so when I came back my first year teaching, it was totally different. I would always get confused if think about where rooms used to be, and now they're in totally different places.
Also, things were just different then, period. Like, we just didn't wear the same things back then, and our parents were scarier back then, and we didn't have cell phones or iPods or anything like that, so there weren't like rules for that. But now there have to be rules in place, and it's just different. So.
Edwin Campos, JVTV News. For the past 35 years, one man's commitment to community has been an example for everyone. New and old, Matthew Beerwagen has the story.
Firefighters receive the highest level of praise and respect from the citizens they protect. But in our community, one stands taller than the rest. For the past 35 years, Assistant Fire Chief Marr's service to Jersey Village has served as an example for all firefighters, both experienced and new.
Chief Marr has shown me how to be a good leader. He spent the last 39 years in this department, and he has been in this position as fire chief before. And he certainly has a different way of being a leader, one that people respect him. People listen to what he has to say. He's full of knowledge.
What I've really enjoyed is at Jersey Village Fire Department, we have the junior members. And so many of our junior members have been with us for 2 years, gone on to college and into career jobs in the fire service, police service, or we even have some 4 or 5 that actually went on and are now medical doctors.
Starting as a basic firefighter with the Spring Fire Department and rising to captain in the Houston Fire Department to becoming the fire chief at the Jersey Village Fire Department, Chief Marr has worked his way to the top through dedication and talent.
He's been through purchasing of fire trucks. He's been fire chief before as a volunteer fire chief. He's been through budgets. The history, the knowledge that he has. You can ask him just about anything about the fire department in Jersey Village, and he knows the history. So he's been an incredible asset.
Through his leadership and devotion, Assistant Chief Maher has and will continue to be the model of an outstanding citizen. Matthew Beerwagen, JVTV News.
From pen to paper to computers, digital arts has opened career opportunities for art enthusiasts. Tina Tong explores.
Think of a drawing or a sculpture, but over the past few years, as technology advances, art has taken a new form, digitally.
Pretty much any job that is going to have where you're going to manipulate graphics digitally.
Although digital art sounds like a job only certified professionals can do, Cassie Delatorre, a junior at Jersey Village High School, is already in on the job.
I am working in a game company called Project Eminence, and that game will become featured in any kind of Android, cell phone market, game store worldwide, and it will be available around in February. So I'm working apart with them.
Game designing is not the only job in digital art. There is a near endless amount, but even with the high amount of jobs, finding one is a struggle.
It would probably have to end up being like an internship. You know, you can do something with advertising or really anything in graphics.
Although the work may be stressful, in the end, the rewards outweigh the long hours spent on the project.
Thinking about digital art is different than other traditional arts. You get to manipulate kind of effects, you get to make things that you would have, unlike you wouldn't do in tradition. So what I do in digital art is that I like to draw things that come from my mind, from listening to music or what I learn through every day. So that's why I like doing digital art.
Tina Tong, JVTV News.
We'll be back with a little talent, but first, here's a public service announcement by Victoria Ashley and Hunter Meerchin.
Don't ask if you tell me, I wonder why.
Student Council does more than just make signs. They also host and develop many school-wide events.
One of their biggest projects is the popular Battle of the Falcons.
The battle features much of the talent JVHS has to offer. Morgan Scody has the scoop.
Battle of the Falcons, a charity event, a show, a place to showcase JV's most talented students. Hosted by Student Council, it's a popular event here at JV. Each group of students compete to win prize money for their charities.
The charity, it's actually a charity event, I believe. It's called Relay for Life, and basically it's a bunch of cancer organizations, and they come together in April, I believe. So at the end of the relay, they auction off money, and a bunch of cancer survivors speak, and it's a great way, to help those who have, affected by cancer.
After all the performances, the audience decides the winner by voting for their favorite act.
I thought they were really good, because there's certain people who have natural talent, and it's crazy watching them perform. Like these singers and other dancers and the magician and everything. This stuff's super crazy.
At the end of the day, the purpose of the event is for students to have fun and to raise awareness for charities. I'm Morgan Scody, JVTV News.
You hear about the active military personnel, but what about the people who no longer serve? Here at JV, we have a handful of veterans who walk the hall with us. Elizabeth Wells tells us more.
Veterans Day is a day to honor the people who have served. Jersey Village is proud to have these veterans teaching our students.
In other words, we are not an extension of Europe.
Mr. Godey served in the Army for 6 years and is glad to teach at Jersey Village High School.
I was a combat engineer. Essentially, that's like infantry, but with explosives. Well, I got my training in Missouri. We did a couple years in South Dakota, building on Indian reservations. And then in 9/11, we got deployed to Kandahar, which is in Afghanistan.
Jersey Village is honored to have these veterans working at our school. Elizabeth Wells, JVTV News.
Now it's time for one of JV's most popular segments, JV Walking.
Hi, I'm Alex Beaumier, and on this edition of JV Walking, we're going to see how much the students at JV know about America. Let's go. Do you guys know what the white on the American flag stands for?
I know what the red stands for. White people?
What?
White people.
White people?
White people. I'm thinking it's white people.
No. What does the white on the American flag stand for?
Oppression.
Okay, so, what does the white on the American flag stand for?
Justice.
Close.
Peace.
Close.
I don't know.
So what does the white on the American flag stand for? Liberty.
Liberty.
Do you guys know all the words of the Star Spangled Banner? By the
dawn of the light or something like that. Get bubbles, get bubbles.
What so proudly we hail.
Okay, well then see that's okay. In the Rockies with boom, boom, with those birds singing. They grew Wait, what does it start with again?
Oh say.
Can you see the Star Spangled Banner?
Man, I'm really struggling in history right now. I wish there was a way to experience the past in real life.
There is a way.
Do you have a time machine?
No, but Victoria Ashley has something almost as good.
The Civil War reenactment is a yearly event that takes place on Leanda Plantation in Hempstead, Texas. This event happens yearly and is a good way to observe how the war was really fought and how civilians lived their lives in 1861. People who attend the reenactment come together as they watch a mock battle between the Confederate soldiers and the Union. Some of the audience members attending the reenactment are students and expect to have a better understanding of the war.
It gives you a very realistic effect of what happened during the war between two sides.
The actors participating in the reenactment portray a realistic view on how life was lived back in the 1800s.
My duty is to maintain order, and we also do fire watches at night. We arrest offenders. We can have a court-martial. We can do executions, you know, whatever needs to be done to maintain law and order.
Students all agree the Civil War reenactment was a creative and effective way to understand the true history of battle our country endured, and will be a valuable source used to keep our history alive for more generations to come. Victoria Ashley, JVTV News.
We'll be back with a little stage action, but first, here's a public service announcement by Victoria Rojas and Natalie Rodriguez.
Did you not get the message?
Yeah, I got the message.
The JV players take on a play based on a classic movie.
And the main character of the play isn't even real.
Amy Tronk gives us an inside look at the play Harvey.
Harvey, the critically acclaimed story of Elwood P. Dowd, an odd man with a rather peculiar friend.
Elwood P. Dowd is middle-aged, carefree gentleman. There we go. I think that's basically how I would explain him. Half crazy, but not in a bad way. The good kind of crazy. He's extremely nice to people. He can get along with anyone. He can talk to anyone. People think he's a little bit odd because, well, he is. He sees a 6-foot-tall white rabbit and nobody else can see. So he is a little bit odd, but in certain situations he can get away with it just because he's so nice. His family, on the other hand, is pretty prominent, wealthy, important people, so they're horribly offended by the 6-foot-tall rabbit and the fact that I introduce everybody to this 6-foot-tall rabbit.
Now for some, this is just another play, but for others, it's a step up from behind the curtains to center stage.
Harvey was a ton of hard work. I mean, getting your grades up for the show is imperative because eligibility is a big thing in the show. So that's hard work in itself. Keeping your grades up, like I said, and doing your schoolwork and your homework and long rehearsals and enormous rehearsal time. It's just all a ton of work that we all put into the show, and I hope everyone really enjoyed it that came.
However, the play is just as stressful for the people backstage as it is for the people on stage.
I am the stage manager, so basically I am the boss of everything. Nothing happens without my approval. It's a lot of fun backstage. It can be hectic. As long as people get into their places when they need to be, it can go really smooth.
From first leads to returning performers, the JV players all come together to present an amazing show while still having a good time working with one another. Amy Trong, JVTV News.
It's every teenager's dream to have their own car, but once they have it, they have to worry about gas prices. Tia Nguyen has a solution.
Today we have loads of technology that are constantly evolving. One of these many rising advancements are electric cars. These include well-known brands such as Nissan and Tesla. Although for now they are more pricey than normal cars, perhaps the best selling point is that you'll never have to pay for overpriced gas. They can charge overnight using a standard 110-volt outlet, or they can charge up to an 80% battery life in under 30 minutes at a local charging station. Like a normal car, they can be plugged in from the backside or under the front hood, looking at the Nissan Leaf. We asked chemistry teacher Mr. Gray what his views are on electric cars and how it would affect our everyday life.
Good for the economy, it's good for the ecology. Like for instance China, Beijing, with all the new cars in China, people aren't even allowed to go outside because of all the pollution. The only pollution that comes from electric cars comes from making the electricity to charge up the car.
In the near future, we hope more and more students will turn to electric cars. Saving money and the world one car at a time, this is Tia Nguyen with JVTV News.
I loved our Lift Up in our Gingham video.
Are you talking about our school's annual music video?
Yeah, I think it's great how every year JVTV gets everyone together to create excitement throughout our school.
Me too. Hunter Mirchin gets up close and personal with the making of Overexposed.
JVTV is in full swing, producing its big project of the year, a music video capturing the school spirit here at JVHS. The planning has been going on for 2 months now to make sure every single detail is captured. James Owens, director of this video, explains his ideas and how it was directing it.
How I was directing it was controlled chaos. It's really hard to get hundreds of people to cooperate to one idea, but once you get past the pain period where everything just sort of starts to work, and so for this music video, that's what it sort of felt like.
Be like really nervous and stuff. Let's go, get ready.
For a big project like this, you need more than just a director.
Okay. Essentially my character is just a guy who doesn't seem to fit into school. Everything seems like very overwhelming, like he doesn't know where he belongs. But with the help of Homero, he does seem to find a place in the school and he figures out what JV is all about.
I play the big shot at school, the popular kid. Everyone knows who I am. You know, I get along with everyone. So me being the good person I am, I show Alan around the school, you know, show him different clubs, different activities we have, different organizations we do, so he finds his true self and he's able to fit in.
JVTV and all of its members have high hopes for this video and hope to continue producing in the future. Hunter Mirchin, JVTV News.
It's time to take it to the other side of the newsroom. Here's Natalie Solano with sports.
Thanks, Edwin. Falcon Sports Center starts now. Always been separated by gender, but this year the groups were combined to form co-ed teams for the very first time. Alex Beaumier has the details.
The Jersey Village Bowling Team is at it yet again with what has been so far an undefeated season. The team has been undefeated since 2012 and hopes to continue their streak of excellence. There have been major changes to the whole team, however, as both the boys and the girls teams are now one team.
teammates no matter what. You know, like you're always gonna have their back no matter what. Of course, there's like stronger chemistry between the boys and there's stronger chemistry between the girls, but they're still your teammates no matter what.
Even with all these changes, the spirit of winning has not left the team. Alex Beaumier, JVTV News.
The Olympics is one of the most loved competitions in the world. Many aspire to attain glory, and few ever reach it. But we have one student here at JV that has a shot at the gold. Joy Travis tells us more.
When people hear the word gymnastics, they think of the Olympics. But when Matthew Winsky hears that word, he thinks home. But not everything is fun and games when it comes to this sport. Sometimes it can be extremely dangerous.
We're pretty much risking our lives, you know, like on a daily basis. So I think that's why people find it amazing that we do it. I've fractured like two vertebrae in my back. When it happened, I just told myself, you know, don't give up now, you know, you'll get through it. And when it was over, I was really happy I stuck with it.
Matthew not only motivates himself at the gym, but he also helps motivate others as well.
No matter how much pain he's in, he can keep going. He's a good motivator. He can motivate me just by me watching him do a workout.
Matthew chooses to push himself and help out others in order to be a true Falcon and soar above the rest. This is Joy Travis with JVTV News.
New heights, new challenges, and new opportunities. New seems to be the key word here at JV, with the up-and-coming Ultimate Frisbee team. Simon Marcus fetches the details.
Frisbee is a normal sport, but what happens when you add Ultimate?
For me, Ultimate Frisbee is really exciting because of the fact that we get to outreach to the school, and it's a whole new sport that we're bringing to Jersey Village, and it's really interesting in that matter for me. And it's just fun to get out there and play in front of the public eye, I guess.
Attending open practice will not only give you an insight into the sport, but will help you be a part of it next year.
We practice Tuesday, that's open to anybody that wants to show up. They can come Tuesday, and then Thursday, which is mainly the team, if anybody wants to come out and spectate.
It's going great. We're a friendly environment. We're trying new things, as in like getting more people and trying to expand outside of just Cy-Fair, trying to go outside and play other teams from Katy and private schools.
Simon Marcus, JVTV News.
That's all for this newscast. JVTV is on Facebook and YouTube. Check us out on the links below.
For Edwin Campos, Natalie Solano, and the entire JVTV News crew, I'm Victoria Rojas. Thanks for watching.